welcome back to Casey's Kitchen here at Boots and Bounty Homestead. I'm going to bring you a simple dish that can be used as a main dish if you're on a specific diet such as keto, or you could probably substitute a couple things and make it vegetarian, vegan kind of thing. And you could also use this as a side dish, as a low carb alternative. Now we're going to be making cauliflower mac and cheese. And I ran across this recipe whenever we were attempting to do keto, and we have loved it. And it's one of the replacements that we can just run in and grab, throw in the microwave because it's already cooked, and just have a quick lunch that's light and is not going to bog our system down with all the junk. So I first wanted to show you, this is one of the cauliflowers that I started from seed, and my dad grew in his garden. And so we're going to use this, and I've also got another one that I need to use up as well. So first we're going to start off by, we need getting a pot of water. Go ahead and get it boiling, and we're going to cut the cauliflower down to flowerets. And you don't want to leave them like the big whole ones, like just a big whole flowerette. You want to cut it down to where it's like noodle size. And then you're also going to need Dijon mustard, cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, which you can use sour cream or yogurt, anything like that. And I would do, if you're going to do a sour cream or yogurt, do half and half with milk or water. And then you'll also need shredded cheddar cheese, which we do shred our own cheese. Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead and start by cutting down the cauliflower into flowerets. So on the bottom of the cauliflower, you'll see this is the stalk where it was attached to the main plant. So we're just going to go over here to the side and start cutting off the flowerets. And these are flowerets right here, just like you buy at the store. And what we want to do is either just leave them whole like this and chop them up, just roughly chop them up, or you can go ahead and cut them down now. It depends on really if you want some stem in it or not, or if you just want to stick with the upper part of the cauliflower. It does not matter. If you want to cut the upper part of the cauliflower off and then just dice up the stem part that's left, that'll be fine too. So that way you use all of it. But first we've got to cut it off to be able to get it boiled. And we'll pull all the excess leaves off here. Now I've got my water over here. It's starting to boil. I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. And we're going to cook this for about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how soft you want your cauliflower. So you're going to have to more or less, you know, try it out and see how yours is whenever you get to the 5 minutes. If you want it a little bit softer, then you can keep going. And if it's getting to where it's soft enough for you, then you can go ahead and stop. So I'm just going to break these apart with my fingers. And keep cutting some of that stem off as you go. And like I said, you can just rough chop them. This is really soft. However you would like them. It does not matter. Just put these in there with it. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this head cut up, and then I'm going to start working on the other one, and I will bring you back whenever the cauliflower is done for our next step. So go ahead and preheat the oven for 375 as well. So while this is boiling up here, we've got a separate saucepan in the back that we are going to add the cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, and Dijon mustard. Now I don't have any Dijon mustard, so I'm just using a little bit of regular mustard. So we need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, I'm actually going to make a double batch, but I'm going to tell you what it is for a single batch. So 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then for the Dijon mustard, it's going to be 1.5 teaspoons. But I'm going to use regular mustard, and I'm going to use half of that, which would be, for a double batch, 1.5. But about 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then the cream cheese. The recipe I'm going to leave in the bottom is going to call for 2 ounces. I usually double that anyways, and so that's going to be 4 ounces. This was in the freezer, so I was trying to thaw it out. And I'm going to go ahead and put 8 ounces in here since I'm making a double batch. So the recipe calls for 2 ounces, and then you can double that if you like more cream cheese, which we do because we like the thicker sauce. And I'm going to double that to make 8. Okay, we're going to get a whisk and stir this all together and get it smooth and warmed up. So let's put it on medium. I'm going to do medium high because mine takes a minute to warm up. And we can go ahead and stir this. I don't think I'm going to have to use a whisk with this because the cream cheese is already melted. But if your cream cheese is kind of cold out of the refrigerator, you want to cut it in small pieces and then use a whisk and stir it up. Let's get it all mixed in there real good. And we're going to let that come to just to where it's steaming, and then we're going to cut it off and let it sit there, and then we'll add our other ingredients. If you want to, at this time while this is warming up and the cauliflower is finishing, go ahead and get you out a baking dish and spray it with whatever oil that you need to, or wipe it down with lard or butter, however you want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare my dish at this time and get everything put back up. Clean as you go, and you won't have to clean afterwards. So we'll see you back in a second. Look what I just found. So I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of this in there. So once your cauliflower has finished cooking, go ahead and strain it off. Some people go as far as putting it on towels and trying to dry it off and all that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it drain while I finish up the sauce. Now the sauce back here has gotten real smooth. And now it is time to add the cheese. The cheese is going to be 1.5 cups of the shredded cheese. I'll go ahead and put 3 in mine because I'm doing a double batch. And it's just a good handful. We want to save half a cup of cheese for the top. So you'll need 2 cups of cheese in all. And then we need to stir this to get that cheese to melt. And we're going to add in some garlic powder. You can put however much or however little. I do about 1/2 teaspoon. And if you want to add salt, you can. And pepper to taste. Go ahead and mix that up in your salt. Go ahead and stir your sauce up, get everything mixed up, and allow that cheese to melt. And I'm going to go ahead and strain the cauliflower. We're going to go ahead and drain the cauliflower. And I'm going to let this sit right here until my sauce gets ready. So we've got everything done. Our cauliflower is drained. Let me go get it, and we're fixing to put this together. Now for a regular batch, you want to use a 9x13. I've got like a 11x14 or something here. So we're just going to put the cauliflower in the bottom. Just spread it out evenly. Emma's decided to join me in the kitchen here. Alright. She's going to pour the sauce on there. She's left-handed, so got the pot behind her. Okay. Now we're just going to kind of stir this around a little bit, mix it up a little bit. Okay, I think everything has got a little love of cheese on it. And so for the last half cup, you're going to sprinkle on top. Or you can really just put however much you want. Or none at all. Really doesn't matter. My cheese has done gotten warm. Like one big clump in here. We're just going to sprinkle it thinly on top. Alright. Put it back in the refrigerator, please. Okay, and that's it. So now we're just going to let this cook in the oven at 375, which has already been preheated, for 15 minutes. We're not going to cover it up because the cheese needs to melt and brown just a little bit, and we don't have anything that isn't cooked in here, so we're just basically just letting it marinate and cook together to get all married and yummy. So let's go ahead and slide this into the oven real quick. Okay, in it goes. 15 minutes. Oh boy, looky there. That is bubbly and brown. Woo-wee. And hot. Okay, so we're going to let this cool off, and then I'll come back and dip some out so we can see what it looks like once it gets cool enough to be able to handle. Let's see what this looks like. I just want to take off some things, get some out here. Yummy. There we go. Ah! Beautiful. Yummy, yummy. This is cauliflower mac and cheese. All right. So it is lunchtime. We're going to go ahead and have some. So I did let this sit for about 10 minutes to be able to set up just a little bit. I can tell the homegrown from the store-bought because the homegrown is kind of green, has a green tint to it, where the other is pure white. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Casey's Kitchen to try out this wonderful recipe. It's one of our favorites. We will always be making this, and this is going in my cookbook. So go ahead and try it. This is the season of cauliflower. The heads at the store and at the flea market are going to be a lot larger and a lot cheaper right now. So go ahead and buy you some up. You can always cut it up in flowerets and freeze it for later. Blanch it first and then flash freeze it. If you have any questions, contact me and I'll let you know how to do that. I think I have a flash freezing video before this one that I did last year. But go ahead and buy you some up and have it stored up for a little bit. Try this recipe out. We love it. We will be eating it quite a bit. So we will see you later, guys. Bye.